Warm greetings. Today is Wednesday, August 12, 2026. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 6:15 in the evening, local time, in the Eastern Caribbean, where we continue to closely monitor Invest 92 and also a strong tropical wave located southwest of Cabo Verde. During the day today, we have seen the National Hurricane Center continue to increase the development probabilities for both disturbances. Invest 92 has an 80% chance of development during the next 48 hours, while the second tropical wave now has a 40% chance of development during the next 7 days. In fact, residents of the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic should know that both disturbances are of interest to the region. And in this video, I will discuss the track and intensity projections. In addition, I would like to mention that, surprisingly, what was Invest 93 achieved enough organization to be classified as Tropical Storm Cristobal. And in the visible satellite image, we can see the rotation and the center of circulation, and the system is forecast to dissipate during the next 48 hours and pass to the north of the Azores Islands. So Invest 93 finally received the name Tropical Storm Cristobal. And until this morning, many of us thought that Invest 92 would be the one to receive the name Tropical Storm Cristobal. But now the next available names on the list are Tropical Storm Dolly and Tropical Storm Edward. We will see then if either of these tropical waves manages to strengthen into the fourth storm of the season. Let's now zoom in on the tropical Atlantic region. It is evident where the two tropical waves that we are monitoring are located. Both disturbances continue to show signs of cyclonic organization, and it is very likely that they will eventually manage to at least be classified as tropical depressions. And in the case of Invest 92, the opportunity for development is approximately another 48 hours before it encounters strong wind shear in the Eastern Caribbean that should dissipate the system as it crosses over the Lesser Antilles. And for those who are hoping that it will bring a rainfall event, know that regardless, some significant rainfall accumulations are anticipated, which we will discuss later in this video. Now, let's look at the specialized tracks for Invest 92. Notice that they continue to agree that it will remain on a westward track during the next 5 days, but we have seen some adjustments in the tracks increasingly farther south. The consensus now is that the center will pass well south of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic between Sunday and Monday. And this is because the latest model runs project a weaker system than what was projected yesterday. And as a general rule, it is typical for systems to travel farther west when they weaken. So eventually, Invest 92 appears that it will be crossing over the Caribbean Sea, where it will encounter very unfavorable conditions, and it is very likely to dissipate in this region. We can also see these trends toward a weaker system in the specialized intensity models. In general, today we see that almost all of them agree that it will be a tropical depression or weak tropical storm in about 48 to 72 hours, but beginning Friday and once it enters the Caribbean Sea, it will begin to weaken rapidly. And that is precisely what we see in the global model runs. For example, the European model tomorrow night, Thursday, has a tropical storm, potentially Tropical Storm Dolly, developing near 50 degrees west longitude, but weakening rapidly between Friday and Saturday and reaching the Caribbean as a tropical wave. In its latest run, it also keeps the second tropical wave fairly weak. The artificial intelligence version of the European model also does not show development of either disturbance, while the run that just came out from the American model projects that both disturbances would manage to develop into tropical depressions or tropical storms. So it remains to be seen which of them, if either, manages to become Tropical Storm Dolly or Tropical Storm Edward. The American model forecasts that Invest 92 would also reach the Caribbean as a tropical wave during Saturday night. It also has the second tropical wave strengthening as it moves west-northwest, and it is still too early to know how close to or far from the Caribbean the second tropical wave could pass, so we will continue to monitor it during the next few days. The artificial intelligence version also has Invest 92 reaching the Caribbean as a tropical wave and the second wave developing into a tropical depression or tropical storm, and passing very close to the northeastern Caribbean in approximately 7 to 8 days. And the German model also projects that Invest 92 would reach the Lesser Antilles as a tropical wave during Saturday night and, for the time being, does not develop the second tropical wave. This is consistent with what we also see in the Canadian model, where it develops both systems but keeps them relatively weak. And before talking about the rainfall accumulations anticipated across the northern half of the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic, I also wanted you to see the ensemble members from the different models, starting with the European model. All the members that develop a tropical depression from Invest 92 dissipate the system when it reaches the Caribbean, while approximately 30% of them develop a tropical storm associated with the next wave. And the members of the American model also dissipate Invest 92 as it approaches the Lesser Antilles and also show the development of a tropical storm associated with the second wave. Meanwhile, In the Google DeepMind model this afternoon, none of the members develop Invest 92, but some do show development of the second tropical wave. So it is evident that during the day today we have seen Invest 92 lose model support, and it remains to be seen whether it will ultimately manage to develop into a tropical cyclone. We will see what the National Hurricane Center says at 8 tonight, but the important thing is that in the Eastern Caribbean we can remain calm because there is no significant threat from this disturbance, as it is projected to arrive extremely weak or dissipated. And little by little, we will begin to pay more attention to the second tropical wave, which does appear to be gaining support among the global models, and there is still a long way to go before we know exactly whether it will pass close to or far from the Caribbean. So, before I go, I would like to review whether there has been any change in the rainfall projections that Invest 92 could bring. And remember that regardless of whether it arrives as a tropical wave, depression, or tropical storm, significant rainfall accumulations are expected. For example, the models continue to forecast that between 60 and 80 millimeters of rain could accumulate across the islands of the Lesser Antilles, as well as in the Dominican Republic, and between 2 and 4 inches in Puerto Rico. So the disturbance associated with Invest 92 is expected to bring rain during this weekend, and hopefully it does so to help provide some relief from the drought affecting the region. Well, here at Hurricane Info, I will continue with this special coverage to keep you informed. Remember that I will record at least 2 videos a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So if you like this content, I invite you to give this video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so that you receive notifications whenever I record new videos. I also wanted to ask you to please share the content with friends and family so that they can stay informed. Until tomorrow.